Hey guys, Glenn here. About 3 weeks ago, a subscriber asked, what about air purifier? Do you own one with all the plastic in the air? Yes, I actually do. I own a bunch of them, and that's what we're going to go over today. Let's get into it. Now, before we get into it, I know you guys want an update once in a while on the YouTube Etsy shop. So far, since we started it, we made $139,000 in revenue. Now, the air purifier I'm going to go over, I've had a bunch of them around my house, inside the studio here for about a year or something like that. And they've worked so good that I actually just bought another one to review because someone made that comment. So I figured I'd do the whole thing, unbox it, and then I'll actually put this in another room. So this will be the fourth one that I have in my house. And I'll go over your different options. This brand has a lot of different size models, and they differ quite a lot. I went in the middle of the road for each room. They cost about $100, and I think they're super worth it. I got pets, and I got a kid, and there's dust flying everywhere. So now with these things, there's no more dust. But the biggest thing is for the print shop is the biggest concern. So I actually have 2 of these inside each side of the print shop. Now, the one that I like to use is, this is the Levoit 300 air purifier, 300p to be exact. I'm gonna go over which each one means, but this one's good for about 1,100 square feet. I have about 700 max in my studio, so 2 of these is overkill, but there really is no price you could put on your lungs' health, and the lungs of your family, of course. Now, I used to come down to the shop and smell plastic all the time. Mostly I do PLA, like 99%, but once in a while I do PETG. PETG I can smell a lot more, and it's a different smell, a more toxic smell. However, when I come down with these 2 running, I never smell it anymore. That would be a testament of how well these work. It's not a scientific test. However, when I keep these things running, it just smells crisp and clean. I used to have allergy problems sleeping at night. I also have one in my room. This one's gonna be in my daughter's room. So it's nice to not have the dust from my dog floating around the house. But I just originally got these just for the print shop, and now I expanded them to almost all the rooms in the house because it's just better to have clean air. So when I used to look at the sun coming in the window, for instance, you ever see the dust floating everywhere? It used to be like that. Now there's basically no dust. You don't see anything, which is kind of crazy. But these things run with a fan and a filter for all day. I don't ever turn them off. You can if you want, but I just run them because the electricity cost is slow, and I just keep them on low. So let's unbox the 300. I'm going to show you exactly what's in it, how it works, and then I'm going to go over all of the units from this company that you can get if you have a smaller or bigger space, and why you should buy certain ones versus other ones. Let's get into it. All right, so this, I'll open it up. I'll show you what's inside. It says here, remove packaging, plastic packaging from filter before use, which is hilarious because I saw a TikTok or something one time, and someone ran it for 2 or 3 years and never removed the packaging, so it wasn't doing anything besides just getting dust all over the place. So make sure you remove this packaging. It tells you at other places too. Here we have the manual, and then another one, warning, make sure that you remove the packaging off the filter. I'm sure so many people just forget to do it. Here it is. Very easy, nice packaging, super sleek. Take this off. I'm gonna turn it upside down, show you the filter. It has these awesome little feet. They're rubber feet that make it not vibrate, and it stays where it is even if it's kind of bumped around. You unlock it like that. As you see, the filter has a plastic packaging over it. You have to take this off. Now this filter has 3 layers. It has the outer layer, which catches the big dust that you can just vacuum off of it. It's got an inside layer that is for finer particulate, And then inside here there is a charcoal activated filter, which is what we really need for the print shop, any like noxious fumes and stuff. But this filter does need to be replaced depending on your use, because the activated charcoal does get used up over time. Now we can just put the filter in. This way it has a little handle here. You lock it, and it's ready to go. Let's plug it in. All right, let's plug it in here. I'm gonna show you how it works. Now I have each one. This is the new one. I have one on each side of the print shop here. I just put it up like on the shelf and let it run on low, or even medium if I'm printing. Like during the Christmas time, it gets crazy. So once in a while I'll turn them up, to medium or high, because it's just so much printing in here. Or if I have a mishap, like a print blob or something, I gotta burn it off, I run them higher. So it comes with this film here. It comes right off. Ooh, yeah, that's like my favorite part of unpackaging anything. Now, once you press it on, you can feel the air. You cannot hear it right now. I can't really hear it. Maybe you hear some wind noise. Very, very quiet on the first setting. The second setting, I'm gonna try to let you listen. I'm not sure if it's gonna come out. But you press the fan button, it goes on to 2, and it's a very slight sound, but nothing really. You wouldn't really notice it in a room. But then if you press the 3, it's really blowing. So you can hear it. I'm sure you can hear it in this video. It's pretty loud. It's actually my favorite setting for when I sleep. It's like a white noise generator, basically. It's very soothing. That I actually run it on this. You don't notice it after a while. Your brain just gets used to it. But if it was in like an environment, like an office or something, you're gonna want to run it on 2, so people don't go like, wow, what is that, a jet engine? It's pretty loud on 3. But if you really want to clear the air, the 3's the way to go. It's going to move a lot of air real quick. Now it has a nighttime setting, so it's like super, super quiet if you need it like that. I like sleeping with it loud, believe it or not, but to each their own. And then you also got a timer. You can hit the timer, and then it'll turn off in 2 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours, and 8 hours. And then you can also turn off the lights if the lights are bothering you at night. Now you can also lock it, but it's not a feature that I ever use. I have no reason to do that. Maybe for my kid, but whatever. If she messes with it, I just change it around. I'll hear it's blowing. And you also got to change filter. Notice so that this will light up when you need to change your filter. Okay, so I'm going to leave links down below for all of these models that I'm discussing right now. For Amazon, I just order from Amazon all the time, and also I get something from it if you do purchase, so I appreciate you using the links. This is Levoit's website. I'm assuming Levoit is how you pronounce it. Everything that I review, I just cannot pronounce for some reason. Maybe that's true. It's probably Levoit. As you see, they have a lot of air purifiers, and the website is kind of confusing on where we're coming with this. So this is the one that I actually have for $100. This one does not come with Wi-Fi capability. However, I assume they did not need that because these things just turn on and I just run them. They're just a fan with a filter. Anyone can literally make these things, and they just won't look that fancy if you make it. However, let's add these to compare so I can show you why I chose this one specifically. Now, these were all the ones that I was thinking about getting, which ones that I would choose. I chose the 300 for a couple reasons. First, I wanted them all to be the same because they're all different filters, they're different sizes. So I wanted to be middle of the road, and I can always have 2 of them, for instance. But in the rest of the rooms, I can just order the same filter and change them all out, rather than having different filters, having a model that maybe goes out of style or whatever, and not being able to get the filter, etc. Same reason why I have all my printers the same, unless I'm reviewing a 3D printer. If I'm working with the same thing, it saves me a lot of time and money. Same thing with parts. If something goes out on my purses that I have back here, I just know that I can order, a certain amount of filters, and it's good to go. Now, it's not exactly an order here. I don't know why they order it like this, but you can see the wattage, which the 300 is pretty high on the wattage. In fact, it's the highest. but it really blows the air through. You can start with the mini air purifier here. It's going to be cheaper on Amazon, or at least it was when I was looking at it. This thing's good for probably just a bedroom, a small bedroom. It's not going to overkill anything. It also comes with a little essential oil pocket in the side that you can put essential oils in. But I have an air purifier to purify my air, not introduce other things into my environment and my family's environment. So that's definitely a deal breaker for me. I don't need any essential oils in my house. I want to take the stuff out of my environment. Now, if you're gonna spend 40, 50 bucks on the mini, you might as well go to the 200. It's about double the CFM. It's not registering here for some reason what the CFM is here. But you know, you're gonna get twice the size of the machine for a couple $20 more. So I think that would be the minimum for every room in my house. But I just chose to up it to the 300. Now the 300 here, I got the 300 air purifier, not the smart air purifier, because I have no reason to spend $50 and get an app. And supposedly this is going to save on wattage. We'll see if that actually happens. But I mean, 45 watts is not a lot of power. Now, also, is that stated correct? Because they might just want to sell a $150 version of almost the same thing. Why it saves you power, I don't know. But if you wanted to step it up, I also considered doing the 400S or the 600S. Again, much cheaper on Amazon, I'm pretty sure, from what I remember these prices. However, with the 400S, you're going to save over time with the wattage, and you're getting about double the machine. I just figured for the little bit less, I would just get 2 of these, and I could put them in separate spots in the room, which seems to work out very well for me. And also, like I said, the same filters. I can put them all over my house, in all the rooms, and it just purifies the whole entire house, and it seems to work very well. Rather than just getting one big one that's going to be just in one corner of the shop. I'm glad I went with the 300, just the regular $100 ones. But if you have a big shop and you just want one machine, you have a perfect spot for it, you can go for the 400 or the 600. The 600, I think, is going to be overkill. You know, it's rated for a huge space. If you have a very large space, that's one thing, but they state the 300 at 1,100 square feet. I don't know where it says here, but they state the 300 at 1,100 square feet. So that's already double my square footage down here, and I have 2 of them, so it's super overkill, and it's in 2 different spots, so it instantly takes it away from my workspace. I got one over here, and I got one over here, and it's away from where I am at all times. Mostly is right here on my computer, or if I'm sending out packages, my shipping station is right here. This is where I spend all my time, so I want it to pull away from me and filter the air, which seems to work very good. I'm very satisfied with it so far. Now, of course, there's other models. I think they're more gimmicky than anything else. They're going to be more expensive for a square option. I looked into them slightly, but I didn't really like them. I didn't like where I would space them. I don't think they look as cool. Some of them have like really bright lights, and they're expensive for not much of more than that. You know, you can make your own decision. I went with the 300. It's the middle of the road, and I could just expand it to every room. And I am happy with that decision so far. I'm going to leave a link below to all of these so that you could just choose whichever one you want on Amazon. You know, and check the pricing. It's going to be the cheapest that I can find on Amazon. Well, I hope I was able to help you guys out with this. This is what I do for my air purification in my shop and throughout my whole entire home. Seems to work great for me, and I hope it works great for you. There's a lot of models out there. What I liked about the Levoit was that it was sleek looking. It had 3 different layers of filter on there. The carbon filter was very important to have, and it had that. The bigger unit you go with, generally the more carbon that is in it, and then you just make sure you replace these filters when they need to be replacing, when you start smelling odors again. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to make money with your 3D printer, watch this video next.